And we're live.
Hello.
Hello, Curtis. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm awesome. Hope you had a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I had a great Christmas. How about you?
Awesome Christmas. Year wrapping up and a bright future for the Grand Rapids area real estate market.
Yeah, I would
We're looking
100%
good.
agree.
You're going to see a lot of news about the decline. You're going to see a lot of, like we like to say, the sky is falling stories.
Yes.
Those aren't going to apply to us for a year, maybe even 2 years. We're still in a very good spot for both buying and for selling. So it's
But
not.
what about the government shutdown?
Oh my gosh. My hair's on fire. No, but that's a great question because the VA loans. So VA government, are you done? Are you on vacation? Are you furloughed?
We shall get there, so stand by to get some.
Okay. So that's coming up. We do need to start off, though, by talking about the Wreaths Across America event. You and I both were there. It was awesome to see all of the volunteers, to see all of the wreaths that were on the graves. But, and I'm sure you can say this, there were a lot of graves that did not have wreaths on them. I know you were hitting it hard for the donations. I donated. I didn't hit it hard enough. And for next year, that's going to be something that I definitely take. I talked to my broker about it at Remax United, and we are definitely going to lead the charge and help you make sure that we can get more wreaths there. I told you I got involved with that because last year, 2017, my mom had got a wreath for my dad's grave in Milwaukee. Went to the cemetery about a week after they laid him out, and there was no wreath. So she's like, "What the heck?" Went up to the office and said, "I bought one. Like, I don't know what I did wrong." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, we'll get you one." Well, that's fine. So she and I both, she in Milwaukee, me here, went to help out this year. Same thing in Milwaukee, where she had bought a specific wreath for my dad's grave. That was not there. And she was asking about what kind of instruction or anything we got here. And it's like, there really wasn't any, because it's the cemetery taking the time out of their day to help us and to make sure that we're there to help out. So really going to kind of wrestle with that Wreaths Across America and hope to make it better next year.
Yeah, it's all volunteers.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So it's you never really have a true leader when there's all volunteer corps.
Well, and someone had told my mom at the VA cemetery in Milwaukee that, there's a list that goes with things, and they read them off at the beginning. And because she had come a little late, she lives an hour and a half away from the cemetery. And I said, I can tell you that didn't happen, right? I mean, it is volunteers. It clearly was a volunteer-run organization, and it was awesome to see everybody who was there. But, yeah, definitely that's one of my 2019 hopes is to make that a better, more complete day out at the
That's awesome.
cemetery.
I mean, I think it was really cool to see you and a few other people in our world out there with your kids.
Yeah.
Teaching them the true value of freedom.
Well, and you look at the cemetery, and if you haven't been there, it's worth just going and walking through right now. There's the one in Kalamazoo. There's the one here in GR. If you haven't been, just take a walk through. It is, you will tear up. I don't care who you are, right? You're sitting there or standing or walking or just looking from the parking lot, and it chokes you up. It's immense, and it is really cool. A lot of the vets who were putting out the wreaths had tears in their eyes while they were doing it. I wasn't there. I didn't have that until I looked back at what we had done, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. This is amazing. I'm getting choked up now just thinking about it. I mean, it was cool, and thinking about what it means to my mom to be able to go and see my dad, his grave have that wreath on it. I mean, to know full circle what everybody is experiencing, it was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome to see kids of all ages. I mean, having my 4-year-old out there putting a wreath on the grave was unbelievable.
Yeah, and we had never been to the GR cemetery. There are graves from the 1800s. I mean, there's some history there too.
Yes.
It's cool.
Not to mention that is a beautiful grounds.
Oh my goodness, 100%.
They did some work to it a few years back, and they've made a beautiful grotto, creek, a bridge that goes over top, the flag display when you first get in there. It's like, just in awe.
Right.
You cross that bridge, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So many graves. I mean, it's not like Arlington by any means.
Right.
Because, I was just there in November.
Okay.
And it's
just miles. It seems seemingly miles and miles.
And from here to the horizon,
right.
nothing but tombstones. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
powerful.
People. So let's transition this here to the home stats.
All right. So we're looking, again, another up month residential. So November 2018 is up about 5.5% to November 2017.
Even though it's in red. It's
right. And we've struggled with that in the past. So I now draw a little plus. My brain automatically is set to think if it's red, that's down. If it's black, it's up. And that's just business
green,
class, right?
Red is bad. Green is good. Black is neutral.
So your printer prints it out as red, and we'll take that. We're fine. But if you look year to date, okay, so from last year to this year, we are actually down about 2% of homes here in Kent County. This is Kent County. And our absorption rate, which means how quickly could every house be bought if every house was to be bought today, it would take about a month and 1.4 months.
Or in layman's terms, the inventory.
The inventory, right. So about 1.4 months. If you expand that to everything that is in the GRAR umbrella.
What's GRAR?
GRAR is the Greater Regional Association of Realtors. Don't say Grand Rapids, because it's not. They got to throw that little monkey wrench in there for you.
Yeah, because it's not just Grand Rapids.
Exactly. It's the greater region.
Yeah.
So you look at that. That's a little over 3 months of absorption. And that's as you get further north. You're going to have a longer time on the market, a bigger inventory list. But as you look at Kent County, it is going to be smaller. Now, does that mean you are a seller and you can gouge the buyers? No. No. You will see that we've gone up in average price. Average home sale in 2017 was about $210,000. You look at it now, we're up 9% to about $230,000. So yeah, home prices are going up, but again, that's the inventory being lower. It's what's known as a seller's market, right? Because they are able to kind of weather the storm a little longer because there aren't that many places for you to go as a buyer. Now that is going to increase as we get into spring. But if you are sitting on a house right now and you're like, April is my month, I would call a realtor, right? And I would say, hey, what about January? Let's be one of the few instead of one of the many, right?
So the thing with waiting is it's going to cost you more money.
Right.
Yeah,
because there's more inventory. The interest rates are going up. We talked about that last month, which means that the buyers are going to be able to afford less. Now, not less of a house. They're still going to pay, let's say, $250,000 per house, but now their payment is up because they have more interest that they have to pay. So they're buying the same priced house. Their payments go up, which means we all shop for houses based on payment, right? I mean, that's the first thing you say.
So if the rates go up, to make the math really easy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Army style.
Okay.
All right. Let's say the rates go up.
Okay. Rates go up.
We wait till April because it's the
that's
air
spring.
Quotes. The home buying.
Yeah,
time.
that's when I sell is April.
All right, so $250,000 is what they're pre-approved for, which includes their estimated monthly payment, which includes interest.
Yep, you
taxes,
got a big chunk of interest, right?
Taxes and homeowners.
Correct.
Okay, so if the interest rates continue to go up the way that they are, you're still going to be pre-approved for $250,000, but your purchase price is going to have to be $225,000 or less
to set that payment.
Correct.
As where you feel comfortable, what you can afford, and that's what you're being approved for is the payment, right? When you look at somebody's numbers, you aren't saying, "Yeah, I'm going to give you $250,000." You're saying, "I'm going to give you this much a month," right?
Yep.
That's your top number. So it's not about, "Oh, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to look for more inventory." It's about calling a realtor. If you're selling, sell. If you're buying, beat that. You want to ride the wave. You don't want to get pounded by the wave, Get on top of that wave, ride that crest, and just surf right into your new home while everybody else freaks out.
Nobody likes to be pounded.
Nobody likes to be pounded. Man, I feel like you should have hit your desk when you said that. Nobody. Now, speaking of pounding, the government shutdown, bit of a pounding, right?
Yes.
What does that do to VA. I asked you a few minutes ago, and you said hold up, son.
Little teaser. So directly from the VA.
Yeah, let's go.
And Wilkes, who is the director of the VA.
Okay.
I think that's his name, Wilkes or Wilkies.
Your choice.
It's because of the fiscal year budget that was already set for 2019, the VA will not be affected.
Okay.
Period.
So it's not like you are making a phone call and there's a desk with a phone sitting on it and no one's at that desk. This Correct. Is all ready in the books from September or October, and 2019 is all good to go.
Correct.
So there's
no effect.
So if you're talking to somebody at a dinner party, or you're talking to somebody who is at the office, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, government loans, they're all going away. You just heard it from the VA loan guy, right?
Yeah.
The expert here. They're covered. So you don't need to worry about it. Because you're going to hear from a buddy saying, oh, wait, you can't use that VA loan, right? There's the shutdown. No. You're covered, right?
I call BS.
You're covered for a year at least.
Yes.
And if the shutdown lasts a year, we're all going to be buying new houses, and they're going to be
the zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. Exactly. We're going to be there with Glenn and our bats and our motorcycles. And
One-Eye Glenn.
One-Eye Glenn. Spoiler.
That's a Walking Dead reference.
Yeah. Way to go. Way to ruin it. Now, the VA also. So you were talking about the budget. Numbers that they raised their rates, right? Now, not raise their rates like affecting me negatively.
No, okay.
Raise their rates like it's good news.
Yeah, well, erase the word rate because it's not the rate.
Okay. What is it?
It's the conforming loan limits set by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
The CWL.
Okay, yeah. See, sure. The old weapons license.
Wow. Look, no, that's CWL. Do you not know acronyms or how they work?
All right. No. Anyways, the conforming loan limits set by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac increase from $453,100 up to $484,350.
Awesome.
So the VA follows suit.
Okay.
So let's clarify the VA loan limit.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
Let's give it a top.
There is no top for the VA home.
Exactly.
All right. So what makes a VA home loan the VA home loan is the 25% guarantee. That's where all veterans I'm guaranteed a home loan. No, not quite.
Right.
Yes, you have earned the right to use it.
And not all veterans, right? I mean, you have to get your certificate of eligibility. So
Correct.
Just because, I served, I did something, you may not have earned your benefit
Correct.
yet.
And that's a great point. It's a great point for here in our state. Do we have active duty bases here? No, we do not.
Right.
What do we have?
We have the Guard, right?
And reserves.
Yeah.
All right. So the reserve component of the armed forces, it gets very, very tricky.
Okay.
When it comes to have they earned it or not.
Now, who do I call to find that out? Do I call Brad Stinson, the VA loan guy?
Absolutely. Call me. I'll be able to walk you through it.
And you can say, hey, how long have you been an active reservist? Let's go through what have you done, and then they can come together and figure out.
Correct.
Awesome.
Now, as long as as with any client, as long as they're telling the truth, I'll be able to prove it in a paper trail.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then take it one step further. When you're dealing with a Guard member, their point statements, because to earn the VA home loan, a reservist must serve specific time, years.
Okay.
And earning points.
All right.
So you need their point statement to prove that they've earned it.
Yeah.
Okay. So when dealing with the Guard, because technically, here you go, I'm about to blow your mind.
No, do it. I can't wait.
The National Guard is not part of the National Armed Forces.
Oh my gosh. They have national right in their name.
They're part of the state.
Okay. And I didn't know that,
so,
right?
So they're similar to a police unit.
Okay.
Okay. So think about Walking Dead.
Yes.
Right? When the zombie apocalypse goes off, who do they call in?
The National Guard.
They always call in the Guard.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because they're the next step up.
And they're in the state already. They don't need to be transported. They're there.
So they activate or call in the Guard.
Okay.
After the police, So think back, were you here back in 2012-ish?
2012-ish, yes.
Okay, so there was a shooter who went from downtown Grand Rapids, just where the GR Police Headquarters is at.
Okay.
He shot somebody there in the middle of the street.
Awesome.
And then took off.
Yeah, I do remember
he
that.
Went down Division into Plainfield.
Yeah.
And he went on this, I don't even know how many people he shot.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I don't remember either. But
the police units from north and south all condensed down. Well, they called in the Guard. The Guard took over for the police
we got
up north, or in the city.
Yeah, because you can't just leave a town without police.
Correct.
So you call in the Guard and say, hey, we're leaving town.
Correct. So, that's a great example of how the Guard is used when they're not used for war.
So if I haven't been called in recently, does that affect my points, my standing?
No.
Okay.
No.
And you can figure all that out.
Yeah, I can figure that out. So if they, since the heavy rotations of Iraq, Afghanistan, the Guard has been used to fill in for active duty and active reserve units to slow down the deployment pace.
Okay.
Back in my day, it was very common for you to deploy for 8, 10, 12 months.
Right.
Come back stateside for 2
and then back.
And then go back over. So the Guard helped extend those deployment rates.
Okay. All right.
So that in that case they'd be activated under Title 10 orders. And once they're brought up on Title 10, they have to serve 90 days just like any active duty and boom.
Okay. So and eligible. you can break all that down if I'm like, hey, I don't know how many days. You're like,
correct.
If you're telling me the truth, I can find out. We can get everything situated.
Absolutely.
So what is the loan limit now? Where are we at? Like what am I looking at if I want to buy a house? I know it's 25%.
Okay.
But what am I looking at?
So the VA will guarantee a lender 25% in the event of default or foreclosure,
right,
which makes the VA home loan the VA guarantee. Okay? So if a veteran wants to bring 0 down payment,
which you do,
the max amount would be $484,350.
Okay.
However,
yeah,
if they want to go higher, if they find a home that's $100,000 higher than the $484,000, so $584,350, the veteran only brings 25% of the difference
because that's all that they have to because of the guarantee.
Correct.
Wow.
So 25%, across the board.
Awesome.
So that's where everybody's like, well, the VA has a loan limit. No,
they
have a max loan amount that they will guarantee.
So if you're looking at a $484,000 house, you should get into it now because we were just talking with the interest rates going up.
Yep.
That payment is going to go up, and you are going.
But because of that guarantee, the VA
that doesn't care.
Their rates are actually lower than the rest.
Love it
because. Not only is a lender guaranteed 25% of the original loan balance in the event of default or foreclosure, but directly from the VA Lender Conference of 2018.
I remember it well.
The VA has the lowest default rates across the board. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not talking by a smidgen. I'm talking like 5%.
Right. Well, and it's no offense to any other lending organization or any other type of loan, but you guys do your due diligence. I mean, everyone is going to, but you guys work hard. The VA is working hard. I mean, these are great loans,
and they're great buyers.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the average credit profile of 2017, because I'm hoping to get 2018 here pretty soon.
Yeah.
All right. 2017, their average FICO score 720.
Wow. Yeah, that's high. That's higher than all those commercials.
Yeah.
720.
I mean, that's a conventional buyer all day long.
Right.
The only difference is
you've earned your benefit.
They've earned it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
The act is, you can't put a dollar sign on valor. Can you?
No,
you cannot. So the default rate for VA home loan, 0.92%.
Less than 1.
The next closest one, conventional, is almost 5.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So what is that telling me as a lender? It's telling me that I have a 98.2% chance that I will receive a monthly payment on time every time for the next 15, 20, 30 years.
And you have a 25% guarantee.
And if they don't,
anyway,
I get 25% back and the loan's wiped off my books. Hell yeah.
That's
right?
Awesome.
Versus conventional.
That's why if you served at all and you're like, well, I don't know what I have. That's why the phone call should be made to you to figure out, can I get a certificate of eligibility? And Correct. You can do it for me in like 5 minutes, right? I break everything down for you.
It doesn't even take me 5 minutes.
Not even.
Takes me under a half a minute.
You got it bookmarked.
Yeah, takes me a half, and my password safe.
Okay.
But I type with 3 fingers.
Okay, yeah, you're a hunter and pecker. I've seen that.
No, it's just I don't use my pinkies. I don't know why, but it takes me about a half a minute, and I can generate the documents that I need.
Okay.
Now, as a realtor, and as a lender, it's our fiduciary responsibility to do what's best for our client.
That's what fiduciary means,
right? And if you are dealing with an eligible veteran, absolutely, the VA home loan is your fiduciary responsibility.
And if you are, you're a vet and you're like, okay, I don't know. I'm not ready to talk to Brad. I'm not ready to talk to a realtor. The first things that you say to the realtor or the lender is, I think I might qualify for a VA loan, right? And if they aren't asking, because they should say, are you a veteran? What about your spouse? Yeah. You know, A and B, question 1 and 2. And if they're not asking, you need to be telling, because like Brad said, that's the fiduciary responsibility, is to get you the most money for your house or get you the best deal on a house. That's the realtor, or whatever you're looking for. Like if you want to be out in a month, you want to stay in the house a month after close, then that's my job, is to negotiate that for you. And if you are eligible to receive the VA loan, that's this guy.
Yeah,
right there.
So I think, as a realtor, as any realtor, as any lender, we need to start asking that question: are you or your spouse a veteran? Because let's call spade a spade here, right? So of the 31,600 transactions this year to date in West Michigan,
31,000,
over 31,000.
Okay,
1,448 were VA.
Okay, let me see. That's like 4%.
4.5% market share. So the 31,000 transactions, that's conventional, FHA, RD, MISHDA, cash.
Okay.
All of it. Okay. So you're telling me that in a state with 700,000 veterans,
only 4% qualified.
Only 4% utilize their VA home loan.
Right. Yeah, you need
so many questions.
You need to ask. We need to be asking. You need to be telling. And if I don't ask and you don't tell, we won't know, right?
Well, and because never assume a veteran knows their benefits.
Yo, right.
I'm dealing with a Vietnam veteran right now. Uses VA home loan. This is no shit. I actually tell this hypothetical, during my class, but it's actually playing out.
Okay.
He used it in 1971.
So I can tell you that my parents used their VA loan in 80 or 79 and thought that they only had one shot at it, and then found out
that was the case up until 1974.
Boom.
So this guy was adamant on the fact that he used it one time, and therefore it's gone.
Yeah.
No, bro. No.
Now what happened?
1974, Congress revised the Veteran Housing Act to allow for restoration of benefits. So you can concurrently use your VA home loan over and over and over.
Okay. Up to an amount, right? Up to the CL.
At that time, it was 144,000.
Okay.
And then it was that way up until 2004 when Congress passed the Veterans Benefit Improvement Act, which created bonus entitlement, which now bridged the gap from 144 up to the conforming loan limits set by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Awesome.
Right? Mind blown.
These are great loans, is what you should be picking up on. The market is not that bad. It's not going to be as national news bad as you see in 2019. Is it going to be tougher maybe to buy a house? Yeah, inventory is still low. Is it going to be as crazy as it was last year? Probably not. A lot of buyer fatigue. A lot of people said, this is stupid, right? And that's good. We want to see that. That's what drives the market, right?
Yes.
The market is moving. The market is a live, living thing. It's not really, but it kind of is, where if you walk into a house and you say, no, I'm not going to, no, what? No, then they're not going to get that for that house, you know?
What the hell am I doing here?
Exactly.
It's very frustrating. I know, dealing with clients this year, it's very frustrating on the buyer side.
Right.
However, I've noticed a change already.
Yeah. Right around July or August, you probably saw that things kind of evened out a little bit. I mean, we still are in a seller's market, but we're swinging to buyers. 3 months of inventory, if you look at the whole Grar region, We're at, 1.4 here in Kent County. So if you were to look at it, yeah, I mean, sellers are still driving the Kent County bus. But dial down, right? Look a little closer.
They're driving it, but they're starting to slow.
Yeah, absolutely. They see the exit, and one of them has to pee, and somebody's saying, seriously, next exit, I got to get some food, and I got to hit the head because it is time. It's time, right? Yes. I'm doing the dance back here. And
once they get off, it's very hard for them to get back on.
Absolutely.
Because the buyers take over.
Yeah, because the buyers are like, okay.
It's starting to transition.
Work with your realtor. They can answer the questions, right? Work with your lender. Work with Brad. And you can find what you're looking for. I just told somebody that the other day. Where they're looking, there are 3 houses for sale. They've seen all 3. They don't like any of them, right? They're like, I don't like them. What am I going to do? And I said, okay, I'll hit this street, right? This is easy. We can find out if anybody has bought that house in a few years, and they're thinking about maybe moving.
Or I can have that golden goose.
Right.
The FSBO.
Yes.
Right.
Well, right. So, and you knock on that door.
For sale by owners.
They're going to take less than the market, right? Because they think they're saving all this money.
Why should somebody who has a FSBO listed, why should they use a realtor? What's the importance of that? Please break that down for me, because
2 reasons.
The FSBO people think that they're winning. I don't need somebody. I could do it myself.
There are 2 kinds of FSBOs, okay, for sale by owners. There's the for sale by owner who has a friend who's a realtor, and they really are kind of helping them.
Almost like a transaction coordinator type thing.
Yes. So there's that person, and they're like, okay, I'm confused by all these things. And I look at it and no, there's no way this can confuse me. But trust me, it's confusing, right? You do loans every day. I do real estate every day. We are constantly running into things that we haven't seen before, right? And then you turn to someone else in the office and you say, have you ever done this? And they go, yes, or no, but Bill over there did, and go talk to him. And so we're always learning. Yep. When you're for sale by owner, you don't have those resources. No. So there's the for sale by owner who has a friend, and they've kind of set the price, and they're telling you what to do. Those people, they're just hoping to screw their friend, right? They don't want to give them the percentage of the deal. But the for sale by owner who, like you say, they know it all. They know what's going on. They're looking at the market. So they look around the neighborhood, the houses. They don't know the difference between their house and their neighbor's house, like I do, right? Or the house that sold 3 months ago. I can break down the differences. I know exactly what appraisers are going to say about different prices, and like if you have this, what that's going to mean to it. You as a for sale by owner, you don't. So you say, I'm going to sell it the same as my neighbor's house. Well, your neighbor's house has an awesome sunroom, and the entire basement was just refinished, and they put egress windows in 2 of the bedrooms, so now they have a 7-bedroom house, okay? You have a 3-bedroom house. I'm sorry, you're not going to get the same.
The apples and oranges.
Yes.
But then on top of that, I mean, traditionally, FSBOs do not get marketed.
Correct. Well, so that's number 2. Anytime that I list a house, there are postcards sent out to the neighborhood saying, hey, look what just hit the market, There is Facebook. I share all your postings. Yeah, absolutely.
Through VA-friendly listings, West Michigan.
Yes, because you and we have a relationship. If I'm for sale by owner, the only relationships I have are my neighbors. And my neighbors aren't going to buy my house. Now, hopefully they have a friend who wants to be their neighbor. That's the only hope that you're getting.
Yeah,
right?
Even if they do somehow put it online.
Right.
They're going to share it with
exactly
their sphere.
So it's on Zillow.
Their sphere,
Yes.
I have 4,000 friends on Facebook.
Wow, humble brag.
So I'm just saying,
yes.
My sphere is big.
Yes, and your sphere knows you as a real estate guy,
correct,
as a lender, as somebody who cares about veterans. So they trust you more than I trust Bill.
That's where I was going. I wasn't trying to brag about the 4,000 friends,
but 4,000 friends. Well, that's great.
Because they know me as the established VA guy.
Yeah,
and if I'm going to share a property, I'm putting my name behind it.
Right. You're not going to market your home as a for sale by owner. You have to coordinate every showing, which it sucks, right? That sucks. As somebody who relies heavily on the online accessories and the online options that we are afforded through our membership in GRAR and in the National Association of Realtors and in the Michigan Association of Realtors, That's amazing right there. That's worth it. That's the reason. You don't have to deal with anybody, right?
Yep.
Your agent does all that. The negotiating comes down. You, as a for sale by owner, you love your house because you remember when Jill broke her leg in the kitchen. You remember when Timmy and Billy used to ice cookies. Your new buyer doesn't remember those things because it's just a house to them, right?
Yeah, they don't care. And with the showings along the lines of humble brags.
Yeah.
I was always floored at those humble brag posts. I was so overwhelmed with the 92 showings, and this is not an exaggeration, by the way. 92 showings
in a weekend
on but from Thursday till today, which was Monday.
Yeah.
I was honored to submit 35 offers to my client to review.
Right.
Holy shit.
Yes,
that's overwhelming.
That's rare, but that does happen, right?
It wasn't rare.
No, you were seeing 90 showings and 30 offers?
It was from April through August timeframe,
yes.
And it was if your house is in the hot zone price range.
Yep, I gotcha.
You get those.
No, I gotcha.
Nonstop.
Those houses were hitting the market on a Thursday and being sold by Sunday for more than they were asking. A lot of the times they weren't appraising for more than they were asking, so it kind of brought that back down.
So, the reason why that was happening was because if you found a house that you liked, you submitted an offer right away.
Yeah.
Not necessarily walk through it, but you're an idiot if you don't walk through it.
I was calling people, Brad, and I would say, all right, house that you like just went on the market. It's 8:30 in the morning. I know you're at work. We need to be there at lunch or after work. Or we're not going to get to see it, right? Because they then are not letting us see it because they know they're going to sell it tonight. And that's that fatigue I was telling you.
Yep.
If you're dropping everything to go look at a house, and house hunting should kind of be a little fun.
Yes.
Right?
It should
You're making the biggest investment of your life at that time.
Shouldn't be a chore.
It's not rushed.
Yeah.
Right?
As a client, I should not dread your phone call.
Yes. If I took you're like, hey, I'm thinking of buying something today. And I said, great, let's go. You got 5 minutes to pick the one you want. What? No, this one. This one's good.
Yeah.
You have to buy it. Are you going to buy it? And you're like, no, Curtis, I need to look. No, that's not how the market's working. So that's why
I need to sit on the toilet and make sure it's
Exactly.
So the market is changing. It's not going to be like that. But that was just an example.
No, that's
you do get overwhelmed.
And so you're trying to sell by yourself. You're dealing with all those. You're timing everything out. The realtors are going to be more angry with you for triple or quadruple or having 10 realtors in there at the same time for a showing. Because I can talk to each of them and say, hey, if you're like, Brad, hey, we got a showing. I'll say, that's awesome, Brad. I'm also going to have this person from this agency, this person from this broker, this person. They're also going to be in there. So it's not, you don't get it to yourself, but you know what? Kind of pretend it's an open house. Walk around, don't say anything that you don't want them to hear, and they won't say anything that they don't want you to hear.
Yeah, and, you don't, as a for sale by owner, you do not do sales for a living.
Correct.
So when you're going up against a negotiator, you're going to lose a value.
Well, and because you think, well, I'm saving all this money. Yep. So then that's in your head. So you end up costing yourself money because you already think I'm saving this much money. If you were to look at it, you're not saving that much money.
No.
But you think you are. And that's there's a certain department store that rhymes with moles. And I won't say the name of it because I don't want you to lose them as a sponsor. But anytime you go and you shop at Moles, at the bottom of your receipt, it says you saved $200. No, I didn't, because I wouldn't have spent an extra $200 on this stuff, right? I didn't save anything. I bought what I came here to buy, You go at Christmas time, and they're like, hey, way to go. Here's your Moles cash, and we're going to go ahead and tell you that you just saved $700. No, I didn't.
I get it.
I wasn't going to buy that. That's the same that's in your head as a for sale by owner. Look at all the money I'm saving.
Yes.
You didn't save any money. You know why? Because you got moles. We're going to use it. We're going to use it now as a verb. You got moles. Don't get moles. Don't.
You got
right?
mold.
Don't get moles.
Moly.
Also, as a for sale by owner, you got to sit there during the open houses, and you have to listen to people complain about your house. You have to try not to be salesy when you're talking about your house to them because they know that it's for sale by owner. They know that you're the owner, right? So anything you say, they're going to take with a grain of salt because you want to sell it. Now, me as an agent, yeah, I want to sell your house for you, but they also kind of hope that I have integrity. And I do, but there are some agents who don't, but most 99% of agents do have integrity. They're going to walk you through a house. They're going to actually answer a question like, oh, I see this pipe sticking out of this. Is this a big deal? You know what? Kind of a big deal. Yes. And here's how they're going to fix it, or here's what you could do to fix it. But if I'm a for sale by owner and you say, what about this pipe? That pipe's been like that for 10 years. It's fine.
It'll pass inspection.
It'll pass the inspection. Well, how the heck do you know? How many inspections were you on last week?
The way that I look at it is it's easy prey for a professional.
Yeah.
Like if you are going to put your house on the market, you want to have a professional represent you. Because if you don't,
who knows?
A buyer's agent can come in and just whack you.
Right. And
you won't even know what hit you.
They're doing that because that's their job. That's their duty.
Fiduciary responsibility.
To get the best deal for their client. And so the client says, I have this much money to spend, or the client says, I need the house by this time, then that's my number one goal, right? Is to get that. Their number one goal is my number one goal.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, here. And right, like you said, you don't even know what I'm doing because you are so caught up in the fact that you're getting what you want or what you think you want that now I'm helping my clients get what they actually want and what they need. And then afterwards you're like, oh my gosh, like that. Wow, that was good, right? And then hopefully you're calling me to help you sell your house next time, right? You're like, I like what you did there. And that's great. Well, I'll take the referrals, right?
Exactly.
If you are also going to sell your house for sale by owner, you're going to get 1,000 phone calls. There are people in the Grand Rapids area. That's all they do is they see that your house is for sale by owner. They call you and they say, okay, you're making a big mistake. Now, are you? We've kind of gone over some of the mistakes that maybe you are making, but it's not the worst mistake in your life, right? And you don't need somebody to ridicule you.
Your ex-wife is the worst mistake.
Yes, absolutely. Your ex-wife or that butterfly tattoo. Why did you get that?
Might as well be a bullseye.
It might as well be a bullseye, right? For sale by owner, does it work? I mean, they're selling their houses. Are they getting the most for it? Probably not. Are they helping themselves? No. Are they saving as much as they think?
No.
Definitely not. Definitely not, right? Don't get mold.
It's not worth the headache.
Don't get mold.
Don't get mold. All right. So to wrap this up, we have
something serious.
Home loans. The housing market.
Housing market is still a seller's market. It's shifting a little buyers. This is Grand Rapids, Kent County. If you go the entire GRAR, or the Greater Regional Association of Realtors, about 3 months of inventory. Interest rates are going to be rising. It's not going to be as bad as we see on the news. Your friend is going to hear that you're thinking of selling your house or thinking of buying a house, and they're going to forward you an article from some national website, and it's going to be, the sky's falling. Our sky isn't falling, right? We're Michigan. We're very strong right now. We probably will be for the whole year, maybe even into next year. And I'm talking 19 into 20 when I say next year, not in the next 3.
And here in the state of Michigan, our sky is always gray.
Always seriously,
gray.
So cloudy, which is why it's important to talk about this at the end. And we have a lot of fun in here. And you are such a great resource for veterans on the loan aspect of it, the loan front, but also, I mean, when I open up my Facebook and I see that you have posted on a forum, and it is someone who is reaching out for help, some veteran or even a non-veteran who is saying, hey, I don't like where I'm at. I don't want to be here. Me being here isn't helpful. I see you on those sites. I see you take phone calls in the middle of like joking around, and you're like, hey, let's go grab a beer, and your phone rings, and you're like, I got to talk on this. I'll meet you guys there, right? That is probably the most important thing that you do, is a veteran advocate.
Correct, because in my world, that one phone call could be the one that saves it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of veterans who take their life every day, 22 on average, and that does not account for the real numbers.
Right.
Because of the ones that are still on active duty, it does not account for that, and it does not account for something else too. I don't recall, but it's probably even higher than 22. So I know the struggles. I mean, I've been affected by it. A Marine I served with had killed himself, and it really pushed me down the path that I'm on today. I can't, try to turn it. I'm trying to turn a negative into a positive with that, but it really made me think deep thoughts.
Right.
Because not suicidal thoughts. It's just
reflective thoughts.
When we deployed together, we saw the same things and did the same stuff. How did we both transition out? He took that route, and I'm over here. I just bought a house. I was actually starting to move on with my life.
Okay.
I was able to transition, and so why did he take that route? I'm here and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it. I can't wrap my head around it. And it all came down to my cousin. My cousin served in the Army, same time that I served. But he was deployed for 3.5 years of his 3-year contract.
Oh, my gosh.
So he was deployed the whole time.
Yeah.
His last time he was stop lost, and that really messed him up. Okay, so he's been mentally, I hate to say unstable, but that's
okay.
Where he was at.
Yeah.
Just PTSD and just having a really hard time with everything. So right after the Marine, I found out the Marine I served with had taken his own life. We had a family gathering, and my cousin and I were just sitting there just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Probably talking, one-upping war stories.
Okay. Right.
He jumped out of a plane while I jumped out of a helicopter.
Yeah. Guess what I did?
Without a parachute,
Exactly.
And I landed with my machine, just
right.
Whatever, and just having a great conversation. He gets up to go grab a drink, and his brother comes over to me and says, you are the only guy he talks to.
Wow.
And I was like, ooh, dude, it's the brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's the bond that we have, even though he was Army.
Right. And his brother is sitting right there, and he's like, hey, we were great friends before you left. What's changed? Yeah. It's because
Yeah. I know what it's like. I've been in his shoes.
Wow.
I've had to have that conversation with myself. Okay, bro. 23, 24 years. Been a good ride. No regrets.
Yeah.
Today's a day. We're good.
I got to go do this.
Come to terms with your own death.
Yeah.
Is a hard one. And who's ever enlisted, period. Whatever branch. We're going to razz each other.
Right.
Just because that's what we do. But there's still that bond and respect that we've already earned. Right. So because my cousin told me that, that's
the light bulb went off. And you're like, well, I got to talk to everybody.
Yeah. So if I could share my story, maybe I could help somebody else out. So that's how I got here.
Okay.
But what we want to talk about is mental health around the holidays.
Right. So there was a high-profile meteorologist in the Detroit area. You probably saw that on the news, where she ended up killing herself. Last month? And everybody's like, I can't believe it. Right? It's so crazy. She was so happy. She's a meteorologist, and it really kind of opens up the conversation to, like you said, veterans talk to veterans. People who have these feelings. Why not talk to someone who maybe is feeling it, You don't want to talk to Johnny Sunshine all the time. And a lot of times, like, people say to me, oh, you're just so happy all the time. You don't feel bad. Okay, well, I'm sorry that I give that impression, and I am happy for the most part. So maybe I'm not the person you want to talk to because you're down and you're like, you know what, you don't know. But you can find somebody and talk to them.
Yeah, there's resources available. So I've been affected by this on many different levels. Okay, so just recently I had a family member who tried to do it.
Okay.
All right, and non-veteran.
Okay.
Right, so this affects everybody.
Yeah.
It's the unacceptable or irrational responses to certain actions throughout the day, so it just doesn't make sense. And to us, because we think normally.
Yeah. No.
To them, that was a completely route.
It made sense. This is the way out. This is to stop this.
Exactly.
Done. And I'm helping everyone because I'm a burden.
Yeah. And
you're not a burden.
You're not a burden.
Right?
The people that are burdens are that use this as a ploy.
Correct. Yeah.
Because it's a huge deal in my world, I will stop everything.
Yeah.
I think what were we podcasting 2 months ago, and I was like,
yes.
"Oh, TV timeout, dude. I have to take this call."
Yep.
It was a Marine I served with, and all he wanted to do was refinance. He told me to piss off.
Exactly. You're like, "Hey, man, I'm just checking on you." Well, why so quick? You a loser. Don't you have a job? And you're like, "Because you called."
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh no, I'm good. You good?" "Yeah, I'm good." "All right, thanks." And then we hung up, and he got back into the podcast.
Yes.
But yes, that's the kind of guy you are.
Yeah, because I know I'll be damned if I miss that call.
Right.
Well,
and so like we were talking about the if your realtor or your lender isn't asking if you or your spouse were a veteran,
Yep.
The same thing. You should be asking your friends how they're doing.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, his dad retired. 2 days later, he committed suicide. Okay, this is the dad. And the other day, the Facebook memory came up from the retirement party. So this is like 6 years ago, right?
Yep.
And my friend shares it and says, "Dad, this was what I thought was the best day of your life. And 2 days later, I found out that it was probably one of the worst. I wish that we would have talked about it." Right? So ask, talk, bring it up. If you feel bad, other people feel bad, right? Ask them how they're doing and mean it. Yes. How you doing? Great. And then you keep walking? That's not real, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I know everybody says, whenever you're dealing with a death, let me know if I can help out with anything.
Right.
And then the minute you reach out to them, they're like, "Oh, I'm just kidding,"
Right. Right.
Like, yeah, I guess I'll watch your kid.
Right. What do you need?
Like,
oh, gosh.
Yeah, but like every time something comes up with me, like just over the weekend, I had this come up. I'm glad to hear you are okay with it. Let me know how I can help. P.S. This isn't one of those generic "let me know if I can help" bullshit texts.
Yeah, this is real.
I F-word, mean it.
Okay.
And I'm happy to help.
See?
Their response was, "I know exactly what you mean, and it really does mean a lot to me that you're being so helpful. I appreciate it so much you don't even know."
Yeah, because it's real.
Yeah.
And because, like you said, everybody says it. You went the extra mile to say, "I mean it." Right.
And I solidified it with a swear word.
Yes. I mean, that's the best way.
Yes.
Right? That's what I tell my kids.
Really drove the point home.
That's what I tell the kids. If the teacher's not believing you, you hit them with a swear. Right? And they will. The principal says, "Hey, where are you going? I got a hall pass." "I don't think you do." Hit them with a swear.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I often do.
So, the whole reason why we wanted to bring this up is because the holidays become very troubling.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak on firsthand account what it was like being away from home during the holidays.
Okay.
All right. That's why I go over the top now. Everybody always calls me Tim Taylor.
Okay.
From Home Improvement back in the 90s,
man.
or Clark Griswold.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, just gonna go over the top.
So I would picture you as more like Cousin Eddie.
Shitter's full. No, that's my brother. The whole, like, your mindset is just not right. I mean, those days sucked.
Right.
I was there for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I was deployed. I was in Iraq.
Yeah.
I mean, it was they just sucked ass. Like, I just can't. There's no other way to explain it. I mean, it's a miserable day. But you're there with your family, air quotes. Your
brothers,
your boys. Doing war stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And that was okay because there's always that one.
Okay.
We had this guy from Colorado, and I don't know if you ever met anybody from Colorado, but those guys are just wild and crazy.
Yeah, they're mountain men.
Yeah. So he's
a hillbilly.
He wakes up and puts on a Santa hat.
And that's it.
I
know him. Yeah.
Yep.
I know him.
So he's running around this tent like, "Wake up, guys! It's Christmas!" Like, just trying to make the best of it.
Yes.
And that's what we did.
Right.
Is just made the best of it however we could. Yeah. But I mean, it was a really shitty feeling. So knowing how we got through it and how we overcame it, and the feeling that I had before, like, I know that it's very prevalent throughout all active duty and even veterans now, veterans that are here.
Yeah.
One of my great friends posted a post in memory of some guys he served with that are no longer here.
Yeah.
So it's a day that people reflect.
Right.
And it's very difficult. So what I'm asking everyone to do is reach out.
Yeah.
Just send them a quick text message or a Facebook message or DM on Instagram.
Yeah, wow.
We're all 14-year-old chicks now.
Yeah, Snapchat them.
Yeah, with a filter.
What?
A puppy dog face.
Oh, my tongue is out.
What is the deal with that crap, by the way?
I don't understand it either, but you know what? It's hilarious.
No, it's,
yes, it is.
No, it's not hilarious if you get 14 friend requests.
Hilarious.
14 friend requests from these grown-ass adults that are all puppy dogs.
They get the dog face.
Oh, my God. What? Deny.
What
Delete.
About if they have the funny glasses?
No.
Yeah.
No, man. I just don't understand the craze, dude.
Okay, it's because you're old, right?
I guess so.
You're an old man.
I guess I'm getting old.
I'm
maturing in my old age.
No, nobody said that. You're an old man.
I still can't use the technical terms of the male anatomy or the female anatomy without losing my mind. I got kicked out of a birthing class, man. I just didn't have the maturity level.
Because they said, now reach into the vagina. And
and I was like, whoa, just a vagina.
Why am I reaching in there? Isn't it coming to me?
Areola, So, we're kind of making light of it, but, it is a very, very, it's a huge problem.
It affects so many more people than you can even
veterans
fathom.
And non-veterans alike. So do everybody a favor, reach out, see how they're doing. There is a veteran organization that actually here locally in West Michigan.
Okay.
92 for 22. They deal specifically with veteran suicide.
All right. What do they do?
PTSD. They provide mental services or financial, however they can help.
Okay.
They reach out.
Yeah.
Analysis. Okay, you need XYZ.
Love it.
They can help that way. There is a fundraiser that's coming up in April, which I unfortunately cannot attend or do. There was one in September.
You'll be at South Padre Island.
Close. I'm going to be in Texas.
Oh, good. Good.
I have to spend 2 weeks down in Texas. 1 week in Dallas for the annual Boot and Shootin' event, which is a fundraiser that my company puts on. It's a 2-day event, and they raise over $1 million. And there's so much money that changes hands, it blows my mind.
Wow.
Live auction, dinner, private dinner, and private concert the night before.
Okay.
Then the day
all to help you learn how to be better at writing these loans?
No, it's just a fundraising event.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
It's been deemed the most patriotic day in Texas.
Oh my gosh.
And so day 1 at night is the private dinner, concert, and live auction. It's down in Texas, so you can only imagine the amount of guns that are for auction.
Yes.
And they're all customized, and they all go for $25,000 or more.
Wow.
It's insane. All right. And then day 2 is a skeet shooting contest.
Oh, good.
So it's a 5-man team. One person has to be a veteran.
Okay.
So what they do is they bus in a whole bunch of veterans from the veterans home down there in Dallas. So there's 100 veterans or more that come in. There's a big ass barbecue place. I forget. I'm drawing a blank on the name. I think it's Babes.
Do you get to wear those yellow tinted sunglasses?
If I wanted to.
Yeah, you should.
But I'm a man, so I don't.
No, you should, because then we'll know that you're a professional skeet shooter.
I don't need to be a professional skeet shooter.
I mean, you got to dress.
I don't need to prove it.
You got to walk the walk.
At least I got to look like I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. No. I got yellow glasses on. I'm probably going to win.
So that event is awesome. Every year they honor a veteran that gave their life for the country. Just acts of valor, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just an awesome event.
That's cool.
And they raise so much money. They give money to Brain Treatment Foundation, 22 Kill, in the Boots campaign.
Awesome.
It's just a phenomenal event, and we'll talk about it more.
Yeah,
when the time
absolutely.
comes.
So 92 for 22
92
locally
for 22, here. They're local. Their event in April is their 92-mile walk.
Oh my gosh! Now, how long was the walk you were on?
22 kilometers.
And how did that feel?
That was painful, but it was worth every step.
Okay.
All right.
So now, triple it?
Yeah. So now it's a 92-mile walk. I think it's going to span 3 days, I think.
Okay.
But I'm going to have them on the podcast here pretty soon so they could talk about it. But their event in September was just phenomenal.
Right. Yeah.
You loved
it.
Awesome. We walked down Lake Michigan Drive. Just a herd of red.
Yeah.
Because everybody's wearing red shirts, American flags. I mean,
I thought you were talking about the blood coming from your feet.
That was hidden.
Okay, good.
That was concealed in my boots. But it was an awesome event. So 92 for 22 is a local organization
right.
that bring awareness, help out veterans
Do
in
you
need.
know, I know you said you're going to have them on soon, so maybe you don't know. Do you know the 92 miles? Do you know where they're walking?
They're walking from Grand Rapids to St. Joe, I believe.
Wow.
That might be more than 90. It might be South Haven. It might be
I
somewhere
gotcha.
on the
They're
coast.
walking south.
South and west.
Okay. So they're walking to the beach.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And
then, my gosh.
Then they're going to storm the beach when they get there.
Oh, love it.
We're Marines.
From the wrong direction.
We are Marines.
That's what Marines do.
Storm beaches.
Yeah.
So that's a great local, place to reach out for help.
Awesome.
22 Kill is a national level.
Okay.
All right. They're also great people to reach out to.
Awesome.
I just recently connected with Jake Schick, who is the president of 22 Kill. He's a Marine. His story is unbelievable.
Nice.
And I relate a lot to his story. However, I have both arms and both legs.
Okay.
Jake does not.
Right.
So, it just goes to show you the power of sharing our stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, think about it. My story is a lot like his. He has one leg.
Yeah.
I have two. Quit being a bitch.
Right, exactly. You have the same problems, right?
Yeah.
Except his are worse.
And he got through this.
Yeah.
And now he's doing great things.
Here he is.
He's doing great things.
Right.
And I'm sitting here sulking.
Yeah.
Quit being a bitch.
Yeah. Well, you can't help it.
So, reach out to somebody. You never know what that phone call is going to do.
There was a guy called into a radio talk show. I think this was last week, and he said he just was talking like we're talking, saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I'm at my wit's end. I'm done. This isn't any good for me." And they were able to keep him talking long enough for someone else in the radio station to call police and say, "We got a guy on the phone here," and they're like, "Okay, we'll figure out where he is." So they kind of say, "Well, where do you live?" And it wasn't local here, but let's say that they're like, "I live in Byron Center." Okay, awesome. Where around there? You by the gas station on the corner of Walk and Don't Walk. Oh yeah, I can see it from here. Oh great. So cops are able to kind of zero in, knock on the door, and they saved his life.
Yeah.
So it's about talking to people. You never know, like you said, when that is going to be the one thing that keeps them from, maybe they're on their way to go kill themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just stopped them. Now there's another little hiccup in the plan, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, no, okay,
yeah,
thank you. I didn't expect that.
When you're dealing with a person that is talking about doing it, you're not trying to talk them off the ledge.
Right.
That's the number one thing you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because, if you're trying to talk them off the ledge,
too late.
You're just pushing them closer.
Exactly.
You just want to listen.
Right.
Offer logical advice.
Yeah. Venting. Let them vent is what you're doing.
They want to be heard and they want to be accepted. Yeah. Even though whatever they're saying doesn't make any sense.
Right. Because like you said, you're normal. They are having an abnormal, in your mind, experience and reaction. But in their mind, it's perfectly logical.
Yeah.
It's the only option.
Yeah.
So they're not stupid.
Yeah.
You gotta just listen, like you said.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Listening goes a long way when you're dealing with somebody like that.
And they won't talk for 4 hours like we've been.
Yeah. And the thing with that, you want to listen and you do not want to press it. And this is all, like, I've dealt with this, firsthand numerous times. And I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. There are different ways in which you can approach every single person's different. The easiest way that I found, I've probably 5 or more people that I've dealt with.
Okay.
You just listen. That's all.
Yeah.
I feel you, man.
Right.
Let's get help. Here's how we can change this. Because it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's all temporary, right? I lost my job.
Temporary.
Yeah. There's other jobs out there.
Right.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Yep.
Don't say that, but
right. Well, maybe. Some people, maybe that does work with. It depends your relationship.
Correct.
If you're somebody who busts on each other all the time, that is what the hell are you talking about? And they're like, well, here's why. And you're like, All right, yeah. And that's where you transition then into I mean, if you come in and you and I, we rip on each other and we screw around all the time. And if I walked in and I was like, oh, man, no, I just talk. That would piss you off more than me not calling, right?
Yes.
Like, what the hell are you doing? So, right, be yourself, be true to the situation. But, right, you're not there to tell them how stupid they are being because they don't think they are.
Correct. And that forum that you were talking about that I posted in that you saw, I got a message at 2 a.m.
Okay.
So I reached out to that person like almost right away. So 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Then I tried again at 2:30, 3, 3:30, and 4.
Yeah.
So it's legit.
Yes, you keep going. You keep going. You keep going.
You know, I mean, at some point you have to be okay with, all right, I've tried everything.
Right.
You know, I've done everything I possibly can, and I actually have training on this, so I know how far to take it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that to be like bragging.
No, you have been trained.
I've gone to classes for it.
Right.
Like how to deal with it, because it's huge and it's very prevalent in the veteran world.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if I can't help. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Right.
You know, I'm going to equip myself with every freaking tool I possibly can so I can help.
And the nice thing is, so it's embarrassing to ask for help, right?
It is.
It's embarrassing to say, I am thinking of this because of the negative reaction that you see on the news. You hear people, because people are idiots. People are happy to tell you how stupid someone is right in front of you without knowing what you're going through.
Yep.
So, I mean, if they were to find you on Facebook or find me on Facebook and you direct message, that's anonymous. That's one-on-one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you go to the, you got a super long Facebook title, right? What is it?
Brad Stinson, VA Home Loan Specialist.
I mean, so long, right? So you go there, you send a private message, boom, nobody knows that you sent that.
Yeah.
And then you're reaching out.
Or even just my personal.
Absolutely, right?
Brad Stinson.
It's that easy.
Yeah. And it is very embarrassing. You know,
right?
Especially, I mean, it took me a long time to, be able to stand up and tell my stories. During class, you've been through my class.
Yeah, right.
You've heard my stories. It's not something that I'm just going to come out and say. Like whenever there's fireworks, I duck.
Right.
Like that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's embarrassing. Right.
Right.
I'm out in public and I'm like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
What was it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're a big, strong guy, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at him.
Like, why are you doing that?
Right.
Now it's like, well, because I did more than you ever will. You
exactly.
Ding,
ding. Right. And that's where, so what people have gone through. Like same as like they know what you've gone through.
Yep.
No veteran's gonna look at you and go, oh, look at him, what a pansy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh crap, yeah. I remember that, or
no.
I do that.
Yeah.
And don't
we can
surprise me.
share stories and share what's going on with us, because who knows, maybe I dealt with the same thing and I overcame it.
Yeah.
This is how I overcame it.
Yep.
That's the beauty of sharing it with other veterans.
Or maybe you're struggling with it still.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out, and I have something that's working for me. So I'm like, hey, you ever do this? And you're like, yeah, man, I'm doing that right now. It's like, well, here's what I do. Oh man, I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's awesome. Look at us now. And then we're brothers.
Yeah. And I've overcame all this without drugs or alcohol.
Right. Which is awesome.
Which is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And because I'm awesome. No.
But that is awesome that you, and that's not to say that everyone is going to be able to do that, right?
Correct.
But that is an awesome thing where you were able to. So you have that. You have the vision.
Clarity.
Right? Because your vision is not unclear. That's
yes.
where,
Yeah. It's not clouded by drugs, alcohol, the false pride that booze gives you.
Right.
Or the depression,
Yeah. The highs and the lows.
Yeah. Same with drugs.
Can't have the highs if you don't have the lows.
Correct. So all natural ways in which I overcame them and how I deal with them and everything else. So let's wrap it up. We've been rapping here for a little longer than we planned to, but I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on again, Curtis.
Hey, you're welcome.
I look forward to the condo association.
Yeah, we got some hopefully big things coming in Rockford that we're going to be working on in the next couple of weeks here. Fingers crossed. And next year, Reefs across America, bigger and better than ever.
Yes,
because that's definitely happening.
That's Q4. Q1,
wow.
We got to figure something out for Q1.
I like that.
But let's go. Let's crush 2019. Have a great new year. Thanks for checking us out.
Awesome.
Semper Fi.